Hello, hello. Welcome to another reaction video
Hiya,
for Critical
everybody.
Role. Nick's here. I'm Cristiano. I'm here. Uh,
I thought you
it's
were taking a pause, and I didn't mean to
no.
talk over you and say hi. I'm sorry.
Well, it's all good. It's Critical Role, Campaign 4, Episode 6.
Wow.
I guess the first not overture episode. I don't know. I don't know what the airing schedule is
I
like.
think they were
Uh,
labeled where last episode was the first quote unquote not overture episode, but it basically was. So this is the first actual full non overture one.
Yeah, I can only hope what they're doing is they're gonna do chunks of like plot beats, so maybe it'll be Soldier Table for the next couple episodes and then
I
switch back.
I was so fucking faked out by the start of this episode when they had Valus doing this
Yeah.
RP character flashback, and then Octus was there, and then it just went back to the soldiers. That was very jarring.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know why that was set up that way. Like, I don't know. They didn't even mention Valus or Octus at all.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed to be like connected to the scene at the beginning of episode 5, which was like hours ago in terms of like length of the session, you know.
Yeah,
Uh kind of weird. I feel like maybe they pre-recorded a bunch of these cold opens or something and then they're just playing them.
I guess because way back on the first episode, I had a talk with a friend, which is why I thought of this. Like the very first cold open was so dramatic and set this scene. And then they did this giant ad break that was so jarring and as a new person to Critical
Oh
Role,
yeah.
unpleasant. And
I
so
am privileged and I'm watching on Beacon, but for the first episode I didn't watch it on Beacon and
yeah,
it sucked. It sucked. It's like I don't know, it's like 5 minutes, 5 solid minutes of like shilling stuff. And it's terrible to watch. I don't get it.
but that one made me say, oh, all these cold opens, and for the most part, all of them have been related to what's happening in the episodes, which is why this one caught me so off guard. It's as far as I can tell, nothing that was talked about between Valus and Brennan in the flashback seems to have any bearing on what the soldiers are doing. And it was just to make this brief moment between her and Octus because neither of them sleep now. That's cool, I guess, but also why is it happening right now?
Yeah. I guess it'll maybe the next episode will be Seekers and we'll get a continuation. I don't know. We didn't really get a resolute like ending for the Soldier Table this episode.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I,
suppose we
I
did
could
get
see
something.
I could see this being last time it felt like a weird spot for them because of the hour intermission of Seekers and Schemers. So maybe this was what they're intended. They now have the trail of Sid, and it'll cut to Seekers and then Schemers and then back to Soldiers after some time, or maybe it'll be 3 episodes at a time for each table. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm not sure. It's unclear. But for now we have this Soldier episode and I describe this episode as like a character building episode cuz not a lot narratively happened, but we did have some like decent character moments throughout. Like we had some good tyranny
Hell yeah.
stuff. We had Wick stuff. We love Wick and we love
We
tyranny.
love Wick, we love Tyranny, we love Cadigan by proxy of Robbie David.
Cadigan was great, and I felt like even like all the characters got good moments. Like Thimble had good moments
yeah,
by virtue of. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, I was finally glad that Teor got to go into combat and one do his role as this big paladin fighter, but also through the combat we're getting this plot thread with his, I think, holy symbol reacting strangely to all these things around him.
Yeah, it seems like it's like I kind of picked up on this briefly, like when they mentioned it when he first met Wick, that he like channels light magic somehow, but it's different from like the way Wick does. So I
Right.
wonder, like,
Because he's not
there was
drinking angel blood.
yeah, he's not drawing on this, like, I guess angel of the sun god, right? So it's not that kind of divinity. But perhaps, like, I don't know if he's like druid powered or some kind of older magic powered, because there was a connection with this wraith that they were fighting, that the wraith was like part of an older order of magic or something, or at least the symbol connected with this wraith was part of some older
Yeah, it was written in
thing.
like celestial and like ancient, if I remember right.
Yeah. And I know that like the druids are set up as having drawn power from the world before the gods, or at least
Mm-hmm.
like one section of druids have done that, and that's the old path or the ancient path or whatever druids.
Yeah, and Teor could be a like Oath of Ancients paladin, similarly
Yeah.
falling upon the old ways of the world before the gods or something like that.
And to me, it also feels like it could be connected to the race or like some kind of lore that direction.
Mm-hmm.
That seems important. Uh, Besides just like being an excuse for furry character in this world. I don't know.
Listen, lion men are awesome. Shout out to my boy Johnny Pride Mate.
Yeah, actually, wait, big Johnny energy. You're so right.
Yeah.
uh,
But like I do like that Teor is like getting like every character in the soldiers table has like a thing or like a something that's kind of like mysterious about them or unknown that they have to like solve. Cadigan's is his whole everything is what I'll
yeah,
say.
I know in interview footage and kind of like short footage that I've seen, that Travis made Teor to be a semi blank slate and just like be open to any direction
Mm-hmm.
that the narrative pulls, which is fine. But to me, that means like he has less of an idea of like a backstory of his race or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, he's not out here like Sam Riegel, who is pulling direct quotes from the Candescent Creed's Bible.
Yeah. Or even Cadigan, who has like Cadigan's big thing this episode was like, I got this. What was it called? What's the club sling
Yeah,
thing?
his like
weapon?
special unique weapon. It was like kind of a dart or something. God, it was so.
My impression was like a sling club that could sling projectiles. He was referring to his projectiles as darts.
Yes, that sounds
But
right.
I don't think they were actually darts.
It's like mechanically, it was like a cool thing. Like, oh yeah, he's not like a normal like fighter. He's like all about being in the woods. So of course he's made this
Yeah.
specialized tool for combat. But it is also like, okay, what did everybody bring for show and tell? And the one kid fucking made like a giant Rube Goldberg machine when you brought in like a sugar cube picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I hope it doesn't need to get like, complicated in descriptions of his attacks. I mean, it's 5th edition. What can rangers really do besides like, especially the new rules? I think they're just hunters mark machines where they
Absolutely.
are very reliant on just like hunters marking things and attacking.
And the way he did a whole attack and then went and all hunters mark a different guy afterwards.
Yeah.
Like similarly,
I mean,
Tyranny did her scorching rays and
Hex,
then
and then
hexes, and it's like,
well,
come on, y'all.
it's their first real combat, I
know,
guess.
I know.
I don't know. I mean, I was thrown because like at the beginning of Cadigan's turn, it was like vivid description of this quiver or something with this, with the animal companion.
Yes. Yeah.
Wolfric. And I was like, oh, is this gonna set up something? Are they casting like magic quiver or something like that? Or
Is he gonna
or
catapult off of Wolfric or some shit? Like,
yeah. But no, it was just like I don't even know what mechanically that was. Uh, not sure. Instructions unclear for that one.
But I did actually like the way Robbie described like Cadigan's magic, because like rangers, they aren't full
Yeah.
casters, and additionally Cadigan isn't like a learned mage. He's a fucking freak guy.
He's also like half spellcaster, so he has like first level spells at third level, right?
Yeah, because half caster is a ranger, so he's got like cure wounds and hunter's mark, and I think that's it.
Yeah. So within the fiction, like he does not have that good magic yet.
And he's not
but yeah, I do
good at using it, which is cool.
Yeah, that was a cool flavor way to cast cure wounds, and I do like that the sources of magic are very relevant in this world, and that the performers are good at making distinctions about how the magic works as it's going.
Yeah.
Or like a lot of them are innate spellcasting. Like Thimble has like Fairy Fire, which is very much like
Thimble
just
is
from her race, from her being a fae being, and then Wix, a sorcerer. Surprise, surprise.
Yes, I want it on the record. Cristiano called it like a fucking like easiest shot call ever, honestly. But you called the fuck out of that shit. When I was like, Wix a cleric, and you were like, nuh-uh, that's a sorcerer.
It was pretty obvious.
Yeah, when I looked at his stats, you're completely right. It's so obvious, but
a lot of people like.
I trusted.
I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of people picked up on the fact that he had a lot more charisma than wisdom.
Yes,
but which is funny.
And like he has pretty high intelligence also, so he's good at like religion rolls.
I mean, the characters in this campaign just have like dummy good stats everywhere. It's ridiculous. Like Cadigan is like both dex and strength, like more than 16, right? I think
he has 18 in both dex and strength. Yeah.
Yeah, which is insane. I mean, it's kind of like you don't need to do that in terms of optimizing your stats. Like you should never do that.
Certainly, but it also is another thing where it's like, I've played a strength ranger before, and it is interesting to do, where it's like you are also kind of a strength based class depending on how you like choose to build your character. So
yeah, you can get up into the melee range and stuff.
Yeah, right? and most things you could do with acrobatics, you could functionally do with athletics. But like,
yeah, general rules of thumb
is interesting.
Yeah. The general idea is that like they're both attack stats, so like you just pick one for your physical attacker, and then you can put stuff in Constitution or
wisdom,
another
to buff
substat.
Your spells.
Yeah.
Although we say that, and like all of his other stats are like, his lowest is a 13.
Yeah. And really, like, rangers, you don't need high. Well, now they get. I know there's now like a druid spirit guardians or something like that rangers might get eventually.
That's fucked.
So that might be relevant. There's like 2 spells that one of them is like bard spirit guardians, and one of them is like druid spirit guardians or something.
That's
if I remember correctly.
As someone who's currently playing a bard in the new D&D, I do not be looking at these fucking spells.
It might be that. I think that might be from like the new source stuff that they just like previewed.
Gotcha.
So I guess you can look that up.
I assure you I won't.
Fair enough. But yeah, it was a good combat. It didn't feel dangerous, although they certainly spent a lot of time like going, oh, this wraith, it could kill Wick if it rolls correctly. Be careful.
Which I think was a funny twist from like the first quote unquote combat where they accidentally wandered into Hawthorne's Glade, and like immediately Teor one shots a pixie. Thimble like talks down this red cap who's about to kill Teor.
Yeah.
And then Wick turns into an icon of the sun god. Like, I was glad that they had an actual factual combat where they have to like slay this wraith, fend off these zombies, and destroy this, like, meet this objective of destroying the tree to end the zombies' reign.
For sure. I would have been really disappointed if they had just like done that, not even a real combat,
Yes.
and then not done something more serious later.
I'm not every campaign, every session needs to have combat, but for the soldier table specifically, I would have been like so confused at the fact that they're not fighting.
Yeah, for the table that explicitly says they are like more open for combat, I expect actual combat encounters that need to be like, you need to fight and use D&D mechanics, and not just like, there's like kind of a phenomenon in Critical Role where a lot of fights are just like talk to the right NPC and roll persuasion and you win, kind of. Although I think Matthew Mercer's good at balancing, like, he does a decent amount of Critical Role combats that are also like, this is not a foe you can talk down. But if a player character really pushes a pacifist agenda, there's usually a path.
Yeah.
So.
And I, as a DM, it is hard. It is a line to walk. Like, recently in my Daggerheart game, there was this fight they were like, I had planned for them to do, and they talked their way out of it the first time, but like, these were a group of enemies that were not going away and were going to be a problem for them later. And so later they go and they try and talk to them again. I was like, you already talked them out of fighting you one time by lying to you. They don't trust you guys. Roll like a 30 or get ready to throw down. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's good to be able to draw lines and like go, you just can't keep getting away with it and keep not fighting these characters. I did feel like, so Hawthorne's Glade, right? I did feel like kind of scripted that they got to Hawthorne's Glade.
I thought that was some bullshit. Oh, you roll a really high survival check and you just wander into this fucking magically concealed area and now get jumped by a pixie.
It's not a real problem, but it definitely had vibes of, your DM prepared a lot of content in Hawthorne's Glade for you at this level. You better go there. You're magnetized towards Hawthorne's Glade. And I guess Sid, or is it Sid, or what's the name of the guy?
Taylor's brother.
Yeah, I guess Sid wasn't even there, or like he passed through, but he didn't like get killed or whatever, so it didn't matter that they even went to.
Well, it's like, it seemed like Brennan was setting up, if they had rushed to go to Hawthorne's Glade the day before, they might have encountered Sid.
Yeah. Well, my impression was that from the travel in the last episode was that it was either go the direction of Hawthorne's Glade or go up this mountain.
Yes.
Towards the gnome. And then suddenly they're leaving this mountain and they go towards Hawthorne's Glade again, which is odd.
Yeah.
But that definitely felt like,
it's, I mean, the illusion, you can see those like meme where you always have to go to Hawthorne's Glade. Because like, I'm sure if they had gone to Hawthorne's Glade the day before, they would have just not had the option to go back to the gnome, because then they would have been forced to the tree thing. Maybe they would have been allowed to rest in the glade, but I imagine it would have been completely different.
It's for sure. And also, like, it was them learning about the glade was like a nat 20. Like, it was a supposedly big deal, or like secret information that they were learning about. So I thought it would be like a small area with like maybe some like extra stuff, but it wasn't going to be like, oh, Sid passed through here, so you should have always ended up going there to learn about Sid, right? Does
I
that
think
make any
last time
sense?
we were talking about it, and I was like, yeah, it feels like it's definitely something that will come up as a plot point because we're told it's a safe haven for the fairies, and the world is bereft of
Yeah.
fairies. So of course they would want to like seek that out and find out more. But the fact that they stumbled upon it by accident after, like you said, it's this like it feels like the result of that net 20 is when they walked into this ambush, Thimble is aware of what's going on a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Which is still fine, but
yeah, it doesn't feel
I don't know.
as meaningful that they could just wander into it by accident instead of like seeking it out to actually attempt to get the aid of Hawthorne's Glade.
Yeah. That being said, I did like that it was a fleshed out area with all these NPCs. It was cool.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's very cool to see all this and then they might never ever come back.
yeah. It was just nice. Like there was a cast, the cast of characters. There was like the hag, the
Yeah.
like
The evil
forest spirit,
advisor, the good advisor, the lady in charge.
the like fairy that or satyr that can tell the future or something, and then
Yeah.
like the red cap and the other pixie or whatever that likes Taylor. It's
Yeah,
cute.
the red cap who wants to kill Tayor and the pixie who's like obsessed with Tayor because he blasted her with light.
That's quite funny. But it was a good kind of place to do some character moments, and I guess so. What was your impression of like these visions that were given for Sid and stuff? Do you remember that?
Yeah, so it was like Sid saw himself getting to where he wanted to go, but then getting captured or something, if I remember right.
Yeah, there was an initial vision of Sid saying he never trusted Thiazi, and then
That
also a
was
vision about getting captured or some or
because there
was
was
it
the vision of Cadigan making
oh
the
it's
deal about how he's never liked Thiazi. And then there's the vision of Sid getting captured. I think those are.
or is it Cadigan doing in that vision?
I thought it was Cadigan, if I remember right. Not
Or is
Cadigan.
it Casimir?
Casimir. Yeah.
Casimir.
The
Okay,
evil guy
that
with a
makes
K
sense.
name.
Evil guy. Okay, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought I conflated Sid being in that scene, but that that would make sense if it was Casimir.
Yeah,
So,
I see what you're saying. Because, I mean, I like that basically it's telling them, okay, here's the state you're going to find Sid in like when
yeah,
you finally catch up to him. It's not going to be, oh, this touching reunion. You're going to have to be like all hands on deck preparing to save him.
sure. Although, I guess Sid also is gonna. Well, is Sid bad or is Casimir? Casimir's bad, right?
Casimir's bad. Sid is good.
Sid's good. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Um.
And it seems like, from what I understand, Sid's plan is he's going to the stronghold and he is attempting to contest Casimir's right to take it
Yeah.
with the current like lord of the stronghold, which it seems like that is what's going to fall apart because perhaps Cadigan or Casimir is already there.
Yeah, they're gonna get captured, perhaps. But yeah. So either way, still a good direction. I did like the encounter with this weird tree thing and this kind of like fairies in this glade protected by undead or whatever. It's cool.
Yeah, I thought that was like a neat touch. Like, yeah, who the fuck's gonna come to Hawthorne's Glade if there's 1,000 zombies running around?
Yeah.
And now, what does it mean that they've burned down the tree and removed the army of zombies?
Yeah. Did that tree single-handedly? Is it just not gonna be any this undead in the forest anymore?
Well, that's
like if another group approaches the forest, are they just not gonna encounter zombies anymore?
from what the impression I got when they were doing all of the stuff. They slew the wraith and then they investigated
Yeah.
the rune on it, and it was like, oh, that rune is both calling the wraith
Powering
back
the
up from
zombies.
hell and also powering the zombies.
Yeah. I guess my question would be like, is that the sole rune or is there other is there other things causing zombies to happen?
I mean, at least at the part they're at, it seems like there's no other thing animating the zombies because all of the supposed 100 that were approaching them all dropped dead motionlessly.
Yeah. All these zombies, they're gonna kill you. Trust, believe.
I mean, I like that as a way
they're gonna
to
get you.
Yeah, like the stakes. Be aware that there are stakes for if you guys fuck up this plan you have to put an end to the situation, even if it's very unlikely for them to fuck it up at that point.
Yeah, it's so crazy seeing Brennan. Brennan was very, very upfront about every single challenge. It's like, oh, this is your DC. This is gonna happen to you if you don't do this. It's kind of a big style change from Matthew Mercer for sure. I don't know if it's good or bad, but it's just different.
It's one of the, because it's kind of like that back and forth, like in the combat where he just like rolls and compares with like their armor classes without saying anything, and they go, "Oh, yeah. I'm just like getting attacked at that, like I'm just taking damage," and he's like, "No, I'm just like speeding it up," versus like, "Oh, if this wraith hits you, Wick, you'll die for certain. So you should cast shield because it's gonna murder you." He
didn't tell Sam Riegel to cast shield.
I mean, yeah, he didn't say it like that, but like he attacked.
He was
Sam
like, "Oh, you gotta be
like,
careful.
There's multiple zombies attacking you.
Yeah.
Are you gonna like?" The way it was set up was like, he didn't explicitly say you should cast shield, but he said you should cast shield. You know what I mean? He said
you should be careful. And then Sam was like, invested, like, "Oh, what did you roll on your attack rolls?"
Yeah.
Which is what they did. I think is what they did in Critical Role previous. Like, I think they did public attack numbers, but I believe Brennan usually doesn't do. Like, if you cast shield, you just have to say you cast shield and not know the attack roll.
It's like
it's like very DM dependent.
That affect that stuff. Like I think the way it's worded, I'm gonna pull it up on my phone, but like if I remember right, you're supposed to know the number rolled really? On the die, maybe like you're supposed to be told that if you ask. Like you don't need to be told their total attack number, like maybe with modifier.
I believe as like rules go, it's in a gray area, but whether because it's not necessarily on the spell, it's like whether the DM makes their attack roll public before like announcing if it's a like hit or whatever. In most groups, it's like, oh, you have to check with your PC to know their armor class. But in like Brennan's case, if he has it all written down, he can just go, "You're hit by an attack."
Yeah, so I think what I'm thinking of is cutting words, which is like a similar thing where you can...
Oh, that's different because that's specifically affecting the result. Shield is just like you increase your AC. So...
But like, specifically like for cutting words, it's like when you see them and they make it... Like, the attack roll, basically. Because this is a thing where I can tell when my own DM, when I'm like, well, what did they roll? Because I have a feature that lets me affect that number. And not to talk ill of this friend, but sometimes this friend gets a little nitpicky about, a little controlling about what goes on in combat and who gets to know what and who gets to roll what. And it's like, I just think if I have a feature to potentially cause a miss, I should at the very least know the likelihood of it working. You know what I mean?
Sure. I see it both ways. I think there has been an increased amount of like, I will change the fate. Like, it kind of breaks the flow to be like, oh, I'm going to cast a silvery barbs or whatever. And then also shield and also, oh, you crit? Well, I have this feature that stops you from critting. Lol.
See, I think in that sequence, it's like, okay, silvery barbs, that's one that doesn't give a shit about what happened other than just, did you succeed? Okay, do it again.
But yeah, for cutting words, I think you specifically should know the result.
And then like similarly, like Going back to how it happened in the episode, I think Brennan said, "Oh, 3 zombies are attacking you and all of them are hitting." And then Sam goes, "Okay, I'm going to cast shield off of that knowledge." And for me, I'd be like, what did they roll? Like, are they all rolling 23s? Shield's not going to do shit. Well, specifically,
there was a moment where Sam, like, Brennan goes, "Oh, they hit," and then Sam goes, "Oh, well, how much, what did they roll on the attack?" And then Brennan, like, goes and there was, like, a back and forth where he had to actually get the number out of Brennan. I'm not bringing this up as a big deal. It's just, like, a style thing.
This just in. Cristiano believes players have too much agency in Dungeons and Dragons and need to shut the fuck up and get hit by numbers.
Damn. Wick should have died. I fucking hate Wick. God damn it. No, but that was actually, I mean, as anyone who's played against, like, zombies at, like, low-level D&D, they're scary. So when you're in, like, melee range of zombies, they're kind of designed to be, like, especially in a graveyard, open field or something, not, like, an enclosed area.
Yeah, like, you have everybody grouped up, and there's, like, a big scary thing, like, focusing down your big tank, and then there's just, like, a bunch of guys approaching from every direction.
Yeah. And I guess they did the right thing of focusing this Wraith, and they beat the shit out of this Wraith with, like, this Divine Smites plus, the magic weapon thing with Thimble.
Yeah, the magic sword that just continually fires off fireworks whenever Thimble does anything, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's connected to the fireworks. It still rubbed me the wrong way. I'm gonna become another nitpick. When Brennan was like, Laura Bailey did not know that this weapon had the power to smite, like, wraiths or something specifically. Isn't this cool? That I'm like, oh no, you just, like, you had this planned combat encounter and you gave the PC a weapon that's good in that combat encounter.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, that's not that emergent. It's just, like, it is a cool moment that you set up, but you did set it up,
Certainly. Unlike the totally natural, in the moment Octus death and then revival scene, this was clear. That's just my favorite thing to say for some reason.
It's and most of my critique of that is mostly just in response to, like, their commentary on it. And, like, in any other group that isn't, like, this televised event, you just go, oh, well, this PC wanted to be a hollow one, so
yeah,
he needs to come back.
I feel like I'm cursed that unintentionally I will bring us back to that every time.
Well, they're certainly going to talk about it a lot, I'm sure, and it just depends on the reaction of people. I don't know. Critical Role is such a weird phenomenon of being as popular as it is, that it invites critique, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. But also, like, I think with big D&D games shows like this, there is this, like, need for spectacle that can't just be, like, you can't just rely on playing D&D to create it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like, if Thimble's just given a fucking toy soldier sword that does fuck all, and then they fight this Wraith, and it's like, sorry, you have a fucking children's toy. You can't do shit to that Wraith. LOL.
Well,
versus
it could have just been, like, a +1. They got a lot from this goddamn gnome man. They got, like, a bunch of magic items, like, crazy.
Hashtag my girl did nothing wrong. Hashtag Cat again, you were too mean. Hashtag give her that blade.
Oh, well, he did do it in, like, a, having your cake and eating it too, where he returned only the hilt of the blade.
Yeah,
and
that motherfucker.
The actual blade.
The way, not to be a hater, but the way Robbie Damon, like, made this whole spectacle about sending it back, and then
Oh
after
yeah.
receiving the letter goes, and of course I didn't send him back the blade that might be evil. I just sent him the hilt that is definitely the important part of his cherished heirloom. Like,
Yeah.
bro, what do you mean? This guy has his own agency. I If that letter had said, "Hey, where's the fucking blade?" I would have lost my mind laughing.
Yeah. This gnome was just like too. He did not have like a line that was ever crossed. Like Tyranny would like point blank like insult him or like ask him about his dead wife right in front of him, and he wasn't like offended or like bothered.
Yeah, he was just like always
Whatever.
level-headed and kind for some reason, and it's like hashtag gnome guy coming back as the villain for sure.
Nah, he's set up to be a nice guy for sure, but I did feel like they hit a point where maybe he could have been like, okay, well, I gave you food, I let you sleep here, now you can get on your way, but
And then you fucking
whatever.
robbed me, you bastards.
And then he got robbed. Yeah, that's like such a betrayal, and that it did get amended by Cadigan, but I'd still be a little bit peeved in my letter response,
Yes.
Uh, and also like literal demon, I guess, stealing from you. That was interesting where there was some setup of maybe Tyranny's character journey will be resisting a literal inner nature.
Yeah, because her aspect is cruelty, right? Or no, what was it?
Tyranny?
What? Oh, was it? Yeah,
Tyranny?
I just
The character named
I know,
Tyranny?
but it's just like because what she did wasn't like
Oh,
establishing
well,
tyranny over this man. She like did something cruel to him, and it created this vision for her.
I don't think it was like I don't know if it's necessarily anything connected to their name, but more so connected to being a evil aligned race or something. Uh Not sure. Unclear.
Yeah, because
Usually well,
go on.
go
Sorry,
ahead.
I was just gonna say because
Oh.
she didn't like again. She didn't do anything tyrannical. She just like had this impulse to steal from him to harm him.
Well, yeah, I think it's going to be connected to Warlock's kind of fiendish Warlock stuff,
Yeah, yeah.
if that makes sense, because
The
I don't
tyranny
believe that
urge.
Brennan would demand of character be like, you are a tiefling and thus you come from evilness and you have the insatiable urge to be evil. I don't think that sounded like it could have been that, but I don't think it's quite that. I think it's more like
Let's do fantasy racism.
you are connect. Yeah, I don't believe Brendan would do that. I think it's more like you are connected through your warlock features to this source of power that is fiendish and evil, and maybe it encourages you to be evil. That is kind of my thought.
Yeah, and I know because she's
Um,
mentioned this like she has this like contract or duty to fulfill to remain in this world and not be pulled back to the pit.
yeah, I guess it's connected to Wick. We don't know exactly what it says contract wise.
But that does feel like you were saying, like this is a big setup tied to her being a warlock and not just being a demon.
Yeah, and I wanted to specify that what happened in the scene is like a magic connection and not like previously there's been a lot of social, like, her, sisters are all actually evil characters and they like being evil and they are embracing their like fiendish heritage, right?
Right.
But Tyranny was like, oh, I don't feel that way. She's actually a good character.
She's
But
actually so
this
niceys, okay? So fucking jot that down, Brendan Lee Mulligan.
exactly. No, that I'm impressed by what they're doing with the characters so far, and Wick as well. It's more, it's not one note. It's keeping a decent amount of nuance and discussion. Brennan is prodding Wick already to make a firm choice, and Wick is like, no, I'm not sure still, which is quite odd.
Yeah, it is
Which is
like they're 5 episodes, 6 episodes in, and it's like, yeah, let this lost like guy figure it out on his at a slightly slower pace than like 5 hours later.
yeah, this Hawthorne druid or whatever was forest tree spirit was like trying to push him to say he is like connected to the celestial, but
Mm-hmm.
that's what I felt. I felt like it was like a couple of asking him
What
like
are you?
what are you?
I'm a
Yeah.
believer.
Yeah.
But what are you? Uh, I just believe in things.
Just let Sam Riegel figure it out. If it's episode 20 and he hasn't figured it out, maybe there's something wrong. But
I do also like he is my favorite type of Azamar, actually, the one that like emits this burning radiance. I think that's like cool as fuck.
yeah, real celestial stuff. It's cool. But oh yeah, also Cadigan. So we had that Cadigan scene. Also, Cadigan like teleported into this like hidden location to eavesdrop on
That
Thimble.
is like such a fucking D&D ass player move, though. Like something important is being said somewhere and you want to say something, so you go, I was there the whole time. Stealth check 1,000,000.
Well, I'm getting the impression this has kind of happened multiple times with Robbie Damon so far. I'm getting the impression he kind of like gets distracted or something, and then like pays attention to the conversation and wants to participate, but did not clock like the initial scene change or something. Because multiple times has like there been scenes where people are talking in private or like aside, and Cadigan just like goes, "Hey guys, how's it going?" Like from the overture, but for this time it had consequences. So
Yeah. Which is,
um,
I think when you say it like that, that does make sense as like like again, every D&D game has that person. Not naming names,
for sure.
person I play with who often gets distracted, often just exists in a distracted state, and then like comes back after we've wrapped everything up and just starts re-asking all of the same questions we've already asked to like waste
And that
another
player
20
might be
minutes.
me, but
I promise you it's not you.
but I do think I just say like I have faith. Like Robbie Damon is walking a fine line between like he's trying to do a strong like the scene with Tyranny. Like he tried to do that strong like his character having a strong reaction while not being an asshole in real life and ruining Tyranny's scene, which is why he did this. Oh, he still took the blade because he didn't want to just like go, oh, you F you for making a character choice. No magic item for you. That's kind of mean. And also like, it's just a communication thing. I don't think he has any ill intent or like, he just,
I don't
to
know.
me
He
it
yells
reads
at
as like
women
something
and he
he,
breaks people's hands. This Robbie Damon guy is a menace.
a menace.
But I agree. Like especially the way he described Cadigan, like in the moment where it's like, yes, he reacted harshly to when he found out what Tyranny had done to this man who was like nothing but endlessly kind to them. And then once they had righted the wrong, he was like, I don't hold any grudge against you. We have fixed what like you broke as best we can, and that's fine. We're moving on.
Yep. This is good communication on display. If you ever have a D&D group that you have like these kinds of things happen, this is a good example of like going out of character and being like, it's not it's not a big deal, or like I'm sorry I did this is just what I feel like my character would do, etc.
Yeah, because like certainly it's easy to get in the swing of just like having your character like acquiesce to things that like they would be opposed to, and it's hard to make like the choice to be like, oh, like yeah, I am gonna be a buzzkill on your character doing this like thing that I think is wrong, but like I'm not
Yeah,
doing it because I as a person think you as a person are doing something that's wrong. It's because my character thinks something your character is doing is wrong, and we're playing make believe like that.
exactly. But you know, you got to get those boundaries established, and different people react differently for that kind of thing. So
I
these guys are all professionals. You could see, I can see the improv yes anding like happen all the time. Brendan is really good at like picking up on, like, I don't think there's been like a big moment where Brendan has been like, no, you can't do that. Really, there's just like, oh, maybe he kind of gently goes, oh, it's not possible, or like, oh, it's like it reconstructs the imagery or something, but he doesn't go, oh no, you cannot.
Mhm.
I what's a good example? There's lots of success. Everyone's succeeding all the time. There's not a lot of failures so far.
Yeah, it is
But
like I know things have been quote unquote difficult for the soldiers so far. Like they rode through the night, they gave up their horses, they were like at the risk of becoming exhausted, which sucks. But they haven't actually like failed anything major.
yeah, I can't think of like, is there information that they were like, oh, we can't get because of a roll, or like anything like that? I guess the major thing was like not a roll, but like Cadigan kind of changing the tone of Hawthorne's Glade by kind of interrupting this private meeting. But that wasn't like, I guess, did he do like I guess he did kind of do a persuasion and failed that. So
Yeah, and that would have
there you
been like
go.
okay. But like even before that, like, you know, he was like to Teo, like every moment we're here is a moment we're like
Yeah,
losing track of everybody else.
they
And
still
so
wanted to leave,
yeah.
and it didn't like initiate combat. It just was like, this conversation is over, kind of thing.
And it would have been interesting to see, oh, what would have happened if they didn't become offended at Cadigan breaking into this like private space between Fae. Would they have let them
Yeah,
stay there longer? Would they have given them additional support other than just telling them to go talk to the hag and learn about the Wraith Tree? Or would they have just been like, well, everybody but Thimble get the fuck out of here?
yeah. Also, I don't know if you watched campaign 2 scenes or anything like that, but
You know
Laura
I
Bailey
didn't.
has lots of history with hags and stuff from campaign 2. There's like a legendary scene where Jester like tricks a hag, basically. um
Legendary scene, you say.
Legendary scene. Well, it's legendary. They keep referencing it. It's a it's a big touchstone for campaign 2. um so and they reference it again by having this sea hag like kind of interact with Thimble and stuff and do this deal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's certainly not, I don't know, I feel like Brendan has stated that he's hiding like Easter eggs in the campaign. I feel like that might have been one of them. Just like having, oh, a classic, another chance for Laura Bailey to interact with the hag, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Listen, every good game needs a hag.
I guess they're quite interesting, like fey creatures. They're cool.
Mm-hmm.
Usually pretty powerful spell casting. Yeah, they're good contrast to like, like kind of neutral or less malicious fey.
And it also like it's another one of those moments where just the presence of this hag being this like well respected advisor to the I don't remember the fucking name of the leader of Hawthorne's Glade. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't
The like
remember
the
either. I'm gonna
dryad
be
who
real.
is the Glade
Yeah,
has the satyr who is like somewhat capable of future sight, and then this hag who is like all about making armies of undead to protect the glade and sending people to their doom and just kind of being a little fucking bastard.
Just like, yeah, well, just being more like selfish, and they're not evil. They just like don't like humans as much, or they're not trustful, or like as friendly. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, but it, like the fact that this is a member of the glade because
Yeah,
she is a fairy, she has nowhere else to go and was not turned away and has indeed put her own energy into further protecting the glade. Like that is a nice bit of like lore for this area actually. Like yeah, they don't turn away the fae, and in turn the fae who are there help in whatever ways they can.
yeah. I will
Some
be
put
very interested
hats
to see.
inside of people.
Yeah. The murderous red cap. I'm interested to see if like this interaction will be seen in the other tables. Like, will any of these fae get captured or something, and they'll show up later, or like, will another group pass through the forest and encounter the glade, or will like something else become of that? Because as you said, like the undead are gone, or at least reduced in this area, but that opens up the possibility of a sundered house or something coming in and finding the glade. So
It'll be yeah, like how interconnected will the campaigns be? How interconnected will the world be? Will fucking Hal and Bolaire have to rescue this hag and like get her aid in uncovering a truth about the sundered houses or something?
we'll have to find out.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's a possibility, which is cool, I guess.
it is. It is.
Any other sticking points for this episode, or cool to wrap up?
I think I'm glad it was soldiers again. Again, intrinsically I should really fuck with the schemers table, so I want to see a full schemers episode just to like get a vibe on it. But so far, I think soldiers have had a strong start. I'm really happy about what went down in this episode and like hopefully what comes next for them.
Yeah, it really feels like the soldiers table is a traditional D&D table, and I'm wondering that the fact that they made distinctions, if we're going to get like a significantly different gameplay experience in the other tables, you know?
That could be. I know like Friends at the Table is like another bigger like tabletop podcast, and they have some seasons where they just like play these like large basically like Civ style RPGs instead of like big macro level games instead of micro level games where they're player characters, but instead are like representing large bodies of power. So could that be something that happens?
Yeah, well, I don't know if they'll change systems, but certainly there could be like more sweeping moves or something. I'm not sure what the schemers are. They're the least like clear on their plot hook. Like, what are they gonna do in the city, right?
Azune is gonna snap his fingers, and all of the magic marshals are gonna come leap from bed and start tearing down the sundered houses.
You know, that would be funny. Murray's gonna roll another nat 20 divination and go, I assassinate the head of the sundered house. Nat 20, let's go.
Primus Ticonus, more like, fuck you. Fuck you, Julian. I killed his ass.
But yeah, solid episode. It, not a bad one, but certainly kind of a long and more character focused one.
Certainly.
But guess I'll wrap there. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah. Catch you next Critical Role.
See ya.